The hush of evening settles like a blanket across the world. A candle flickers in a windowsill. Outside, the moon hangs round and glowing, silvering the rooftops and softening the trees. You're safe, warm, and ready to listen. Tonight, you'll walk with dogs who remember, who dream, and who nap in golden patches of light. So tuck in your paws, curl your tail just so, and let your breath slow. Let's begin. Bramble was a very old dog. He had soft gray fur that curled like mist round his eyes, and when he walked, it was with the wisdom of many slow, careful steps. Bramble belonged to no one in particular, but everyone in the little village knew him. They left water bowls on porches, tucked biscuits into coat pockets, and always greeted him with a warm "Evening, Bramble," as he made his rounds. But there was one thing no one knew. At exactly midnight, on nights when the moon was full and round, a path appeared just outside the orchard, not made of stone, not made of dirt. This path shimmered faintly, as though stitched together from silver thread and dreams. And Bramble, quiet as breath, would rise from his favorite blanket, stretch each stiff leg with a gentle sigh, and pad toward it. Tonight was such a night. The moon glowed kindly. The air smelled of apples and lavender, and Bramble found the path waiting. Step by soft step, he followed. The first place he came to was the bakery, only it wasn't the bakery as it was now. No, this was how it looked long ago, with little Rosie, the baker's spaniel, perched on a stool, her flour-dusted paws dangling. She barked once, joyfully, and Bramble's tail wagged in reply. Then came the meadow, filled not with grass, but with dandelion clocks and wild strawberries. Here, a puppy version of Bramble ran in circles, tumbling over himself. The older Bramble watched, his eyes crinkled in memory, his tail tapping a rhythm of peace. Further along, the path bent gently through the old woods, where every twig snap sounded like a whisper and every breeze carried the scent of pine. Here, Bramble met Shadow, a black Labrador he hadn't seen in many winters. They touched noses quietly, without words, and sat together, just breathing. At the edge of the path was a final stop, a hill overlooking the village, where stars blinked softly above. And there Bramble lay down, not to rest just yet, but to listen. To the wind, to the earth, to memories that purred and curled around him like old friends. The path would take him home soon, but not before the stars told a story. The snow hound of Hollow Valley long ago, when winters were thicker and snow curled up to rooftops, Hollow Valley lay hushed beneath blankets of white. Travelers often spoke of the hush not fearful, but still, like a held breath, like a world asleep. And in that hush, they said, there lived a dog, white as snowfall, eyes the color of creek ice, fur that never melted even when touched. They called her Luma. Luma had no collar, no home, but she had a path she knew well, from one end of the valley to the other, winding through forests heavy with frost, past trees that creaked gently under the weight of the world. Whenever someone lost their way in the snow, Luma would find them. Her soft paws left no print. Her breath rose in little silver clouds. She never barked, never howled, only looked into your eyes, and you'd understand. Follow me, her eyes would say. You're not lost now. Children spoke of waking in snowdrifts, warm and safe. With Luma curled beside them like a snowbank that had come to life, shepherds told of hearing a gentle whine in the storm and finding their way home after. Elders swore they'd seen her once, long ago, standing atop a hill, watching the stars with a gaze like old, dreaming ice. Luma never asked for thanks. She only disappeared again, into the folds of fog, into the silence of snow. One evening, a young husky named Cedar listened to this story beside the fire in his grandmother's cottage. His eyes were wide, his ears pricked. Did she ever come here? He whispered. The grandmother only smiled, lifting a mug of warm broth. She comes everywhere, she said, wherever someone needs to be found. And somewhere, out in Hollow Valley, the snow stirred gently. Stars beneath the lake was perfectly still. So still, it looked like glass. But it wasn't cold. No, it shimmered with warmth like starlight caught in water. And across its surface walked a small, speckled pup named Wim. Wim had dreams like this often. In this dream, the sky wasn't above, it was below. Constellations flickered gently in the lake beneath his paws. Orion yawned. The dog star blinked sleepily. The moon wobbled in the reflection and giggled softly as Wim padded along. Each step chimed like tiny bells, not loud, just little notes of wonder. A turtle with a mossy shell peeked out from a lily pad made of velvet. If you follow the northern fish, he said sleepily, you'll find the boat made of clouds. Wim nodded and walked on. Soon, he met 3 owls in robes of feather and fog. They were librarians, sorting dream thoughts in floating bubbles. Would you like a dream of running? One asked. Or a memory of being carried, said another. Wim chose the second. The owl nodded and gave him a bubble. Inside was an image of Wim, much younger, cradled in a wool blanket, nestled in his human's arms. He carried it gently in his mouth, like treasure. When he found the boat soft and pale and drifting on mist, he stepped inside. It rocked once, then settled. Ready, whispered the stars. Wim curled up, and the boat drifted onward, across the sky beneath the lake, toward dreams yet unformed. Sun patches and afternoon dozing, there is an old golden retriever named Marnie. She lives in a quiet cottage with her human, who plays the guitar and speaks in a voice like warm honey. Marnie's days are filled with naps and finding the best sun patches to nap in. One by the bay window, where lace curtains sway gently. One beneath the fern stand, where dust motes dance. One right in front of the fireplace, even in summer, just because it smells like comfort. This afternoon, the house hums with quiet. The clock ticks. The guitar strums. Outside, bees murmur in the garden. Marnie moves slowly from spot to spot, her tail swishing softly. She circles 3 times before each nap, then settles with a sigh that seems to say, yes, this is the one. When her human hums a melody, a lullaby with no words, Marnie's ears twitch once, then still. She dreams simple things, of chasing leaves that always float just ahead, of being carried in arms that never grow tired, of laying her head on a lap that smells like cinnamon and kindness. A breeze lifts the edge of a curtain. Somewhere, a bird sings, and Marnie sleeps. The day fades, the light dims. Bramble walks home. Luma vanishes into snow. Wim rocks gently in his cloud boat, and Marnie dozes in her sunbeam. The world is quiet now, and the night grows quieter still. Sleep, little one, sleep. You're safe here.